cloud winter. And on their name, put some respect. Yeah, yeah. I think it's time for reality check. Yeah, reality check. Gotta get you back on cold. Reality check. For the young and the old. Reality check. Yeah, the heal your soul. Reality check. Get ready for the show.
What up, though? What up, though? How you doing, Eve? There's an echo in the house. How you doing, family? Today we're going to have our reality check. How you doing, Eve? I have an echo on my end.
Hi, Dr. Winters. How you doing?
Hey. This topic is really live. You know, because see, a lot of people they don't really understand that. A lot of people don't really understand that I don't think there's nobody on this planet that's not a faker.
You said it's not a faker?
That's not a that hasn't. Let's put it like this: that hasn't been a fake at least at some time in their life. Yes.
I think about a couple memes that I've seen recently, and and then I think they actually have been joking. I don't know if this is the best joke to have, but it was an Amazon worker, and they are talking about being a curbside driver, and this person is actually driving on the curb to drop his packages off. Have you seen the Amazon worker who got in trouble for driving on the curb because he's curbside delivery now?
No, I haven't seen that.
Um, I think the person that they were interviewing, I think that was like an internet spoof of the story, but they have footage of the person and they're on the sidewalk and they're just driving on the sidewalk, and the side of the Amazon truck says delivery now, and there's like, well, how am I supposed to deliver this now if I don't drive it on the curb? You said you want curbside delivery. So I'm like, I don't know if that man's resume is what he told them it was, but you know, uh, what do you do? What do you do? Peace in chat. Hey guys. Um, have you ever been around the teacher who's not a teacher? Actually, you have. You said that your art class has got substitute teachers sometimes. So were they art teachers or did they just
Yeah,
grab it?
I've been around a lot of people who weren't teachers. In what context? Because it's just like I was looking at but they like certain teachers have a certain feel. Because I was really surprised when I started teaching that it was a lot of black teachers who grew up in the projects, and they had grown up in the projects, and yet when they started teaching, they were afraid of other black people. And yes, you're laughing, but there's people who grew up in the projects, but somehow they forget where they came from, and they're big fakers. They're big fakers because they be trying in a sense to fake being empathetic, fake being really being concerned, and they're not. I mean, you find a lot of not just black teachers, you find a lot of white teachers who have that look,
Yes, I'll never forget. I think it was my first year teaching, and we had they had volleyball for the teachers so we could play against the other schools, trying to as a way to keep us fit and active and competitive. And I was playing volleyball at one of the other schools in the district, and but it was a Black school, and it's one of the harder schools in my district. And the kids kind of live across the street from the school. Like, that's how close the zoning is. And when I say across the street, that this might be, like what you would consider the hood in your area. And then it's a school that's got, a school that has uniforms. Do you have that? Public schools with uniforms in Chicago?
Well, when I was teaching, we had public school. That was one of the greatest things that ever happened in Chicago, because a lot of kids don't really have the clothes, and so you can save money, and it's not so much competition, because you got to remember back in the day, they would take kids' gym shoes, tennis shoes,
Right,
Nikes,
right.
and all that. Or if they wore nice jackets, people would steal take their jackets on the way home. So it's kind of good in the sense that when they went into a uniform policy. How you doing, Natty, Sir LaRoyal, and Teresa Miller? What up, though?
Yeah, one of the teachers that was on that volleyball team, when we left, it was dark outside because it was, after school we play and really after their activities. And she was so afraid to walk to her car. And I live up the street from that school, so I'm a gentrifier. I didn't feel unsafe. I don't feel unsafe around us. I feel maybe unsafe around people who look like they're up to no good, but maybe I try not to be in areas like that. I don't know. But I do know that I don't feel unsafe when I see a crowd of Blacks. There are Blacks who get very uncomfortable when they see that same crowd, and then the whites who will clutch their purse or lock their door. So, but the way she said it, I was just like, well, why are you working in Norfolk then? If you don't want to be with the Black students, if this is where you are and teaching in a Black city, maybe our school is not as Black, but it is a Black city, and you don't have to be here. You could be somewhere else. And that's when I found out that the white teachers who don't get the jobs in their neighborhood, they'll come to a Black city like Norfolk or Portsmouth, get their year, and then transfer. And then it's an easy transfer, make more money. Don't have to worry about things.
They can, but it's kind of complicated. It's very complicated over the last couple of years. I'm just going off Chicago. In the Chicago area, I left the Board of Education in 2016. But what was happening is that both in the city and the suburbs, they were trying to keep people from getting their tenure. So they would hire people at the beginning of the year, then fire them in May, and then bring them back in September. And that's no good. But I've never liked administrators, even though I taught hundreds of administrators when I was teaching at Governor State and St. Xavier. I taught many administrators, but I never wanted to be an administrator. I never wanted to.
Too politicky? Too much politics?
No, I never wanted to be an administrator because there's certain things you have to do because your boss tells you to do it.
Uh-huh.
See, okay, it's just like me. By the time I retired, I was making more money than my principal. The principals, they would come in and I had been teaching so long, had a PhD, 40 hours, masters, all that LMSO. So I was making much, 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 much more. And so then they say, hey, you gotta find a way to get rid of this guy because he's making too much money. I don't blame them. I don't blame them for the harassment, but it's just that they felt that I was making too much money, and it was, but I mean, damn, I felt I was worth it. But I was in the same situation as when I began in 73. In 1973, when I began teaching, all the white teachers in the suburbs was making all the money.
Mm.
But I didn't understand is that many of them had been working for 20, 30, 40 years. You know what I'm saying? And in education, at least up in Illinois, if you continually go and get a master's plus hours, PhD, then they compensate you, very admirably.
Mm-hmm.
And so then that could be it. But I just noticed in a sense over the years that there's always been some type of faking, just like when I was in high school. That's when I first noticed it. Like in high school, I'm playing football, and so then I'm the defensive end. I'm kicking ass, and we lose the game, and then the captain comes into the locker room and he's crying and stuff. We lost, and you gotta. It's hard, but you gotta look sad too. I wasn't sad. I had a good ass game. I knocked down a couple of passes. I sacked the quarterback a couple of times. Yeah, we lost, but I knew I had a great game. But I had to fake. I had to act like I had to put my head down too. And but don't get close to me. You might see me grinning and shit. Because that's the way it was. The next day, like when I was at university, the next day, in a sense, at Illinois, when I played at Illinois, we had Illinois was on probation because they had done a lot of slick stuff. So then but so when I would the next on Sunday I would collect my write-ups and shit, so I could look at them later. And but damn, I couldn't be like those captains who start crying, those captains who feel like they lost the game. Damn, I knew I played a good game, and I did not feel sad. And yet these people want to make you feel sad. They want to make you be part of the team. And I think that's the thing about that leads to this whole idea of fake it till you make it. Like Kamala.
There you go.
She's
definitely trying to fake it.
Yeah, she was. She wanted to be a district attorney, and she had to go with that old guy. And hey, I can't blame her. If that's what she wanted to do. And she became very successful. She had to fake it. She had to fake like she liked that old guy or whatever, or fake with whoever. Come on now. This is what people do.
No,
and
this is true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then like a lot of people have been talking lately. They've been talking about Judge Mathis, and they said, I don't understand. I said, what is it you don't understand? They said, I don't understand how Judge Mathis could have been married for 39 years. And yet now they're getting his wife is divorced. Most of the time, ladies are the ones that want to get a divorce. And so then they said, I don't understand that. I said, what is there to understand? See, they said, I just don't understand. I said, see, that's your biggest mistake. The first thing I learned from the wineheads, the sages of the ghetto, the first thing I learned from stop laughing. Wineheads are the sages of the ghetto.
You're right.
You don't talk to them because you don't want them flirting with you. But when you're a guy and you walking past the liquor store and they know, hey, what up, Clyde? Let me
drop some gems on you.
So then, what I learned from the sages, the wineheads outside the liquor store, was this: as they said, number one, they said that never try to understand a woman, And see, this is how many men make a mistake. They try to understand a woman, and they don't understand that for much of a woman's life, she has to fake a lot of stuff, especially in relationships. She might find now this is one thing. Now the average woman she's gonna try to marry a good kisser. Now if you're a bad kisser, and once she gets that bad kiss, your ass is off the list. But no. Women will settle for a man who may not be able to always be able to satisfy her, sexually.
Mm-hmm.
But he got to know how to give good hugs, and he got to know how to kiss. If you don't know how to kiss, get out of here, And
that's
I know.
I've never heard that. That's insane.
Do you disagree?
But I kind of no. I don't. I don't know that I've. Nope.
Have you ever married a bad kisser?
No, I haven't.
But when you met a kisser who was who's sloppy mouth, or somebody in the sense who didn't know how to really didn't know how to come on now. That's the first.
I never thought about that connection, but you're so right. I mean, sloppy bad kisser, or it's just it doesn't feel right. How do you get intimate with someone who can't kiss?
Yeah.
Or that hug thing. I mean, hugs cure depression, I think, or can cure some lonely moments. I don't know. I think I think I've felt that before, but to know that it's a thing with intimacy, that hug and kiss combination. And if you can't get past there, then you can't get past go, and then you're probably out the door, like you said.
Hey, you made that rhyme. If you can't, you made that. How did you do? How do you Negroes do that? How do you black people make the words come out of the name rhyme? But that was rhyming. It was rhythmical. But again, it's so true. That's just an observation. That's just an observation in the sense because maybe I say that because when I was younger, a lot of the girls, they would judge you off of that. When I was in high school, they would judge you. Damn, he can't kiss shit. What the hell are you going with him? Clyde can't kiss. You don't want to go with him. Just because he's on the football team, he doesn't know how to kiss. Do you want to be with him? And some of them were lying because they just wanted me themselves. But, at least I hope so. But it begins. Remember when you're playing basketball. Remember on the team, and you really tried your best. You really did good, and you're really feeling happy. And then you get in the locker room, and then the captain or somebody got to always be a downer. What are you smiling at? What are you smiling at? Why are you doing that? Damn, why? So then you learn to fake. But it begins when you're a kid. Your first fake experience begins when you're a kid. What are you talking about, doctor? I'm gonna tell you. The first fake thing is when your father usually spanks you, he gives you a good butt whooping. He's gonna lay it on thick, But the average kid learns early that if he screams and shouts, the whooping is not that long, And then you learn that if you don't scream and shout, then they keep hitting you. And I would look at some kids and some kids would look like why he still keep whipping me? It's not hurting because mama don't hurt, but but then after a while you start to learn to fake. Oh, I'm gonna fake it. Don't you do it no more, girl. Don't you do it no more, boy. And you ain't got hurt. You ain't been hurt at all. But
Oh, I can't wait to send this one to my parents. They would get a tickle out of this in the biggest way. Oh, okay. Give me a second, Dr. Winters.
Go ahead. But so it begins back when you're a kid, and you want to please. You want to make sure that you get it over with whenever you're in a spanking environment, like my father, in a sense, when he would spank us, he would, you had to be really pushed, And what I used to sometimes like to get on my sister's nerves, And my father didn't like that because my sister started, complaining. And then my father come home and say, Clyde, what are you doing? And see, my sister, she had polio. But she could use her arm a little bit. But then a lot of times, I would just like to harass her. She was older than me. But I would like to harass her. And then she would have her hands up trying to hit me. Then I would just bring them real close to my face. Then push them right back. Then bring them close to my face. Then push them back. And she would get so frustrated. So she told my father once. So he came in and, had to tighten me up, let me know. Just because I was taller than him, that didn't mean anything. He was the boss. Or I remember my son, my one of my oldest sons, and a lot of times, when I say, okay, my wife would tell him, I guess, when your dad get home, he's gonna whip your butt. And so then my son might would put a lot of stuff in his pants, the kind of cushion. So then I would hit him a couple of times on the leg, Then if he put something on the legs, I'd hit him on the butt.
You can't fit anything in the leg pants.
Yeah, because I never spanked him. I never spanked him and just went mad. It was always maybe 2 or 3 licks. Then I had a board of education, and then when they got older, I had a paddle. So I would hit them maybe twice. It wasn't a paddle with holes in it and all that type of stuff.
Okay.
But it was just a paddle. And I only spanked him, and then my knee baby, my youngest kid. Y'all say, yeah, those whoopings. I said, you never got a damn whooping in your life. Yes, I did. I got a whooping. I said, who whipped you? I didn't whip you. Your mama didn't whip you. Who whipped you? I used to get those whoopings. I think he just be fantasizing. He's a storyteller. He likes to write stories. So I said, said, stop lying. You didn't get a damn whooping, And my daughter, she'll say the same thing. Because I would let my wife would handle the discipline with her. You know what I mean? Damn, you ain't got no whooping, get out of here. I got real whoopings. When I was growing up, I mean, that's how I got to play. That's what made me a good linebacker and defensive end, Because when the Spanish people, when their mom get mad at them, they throw a shoe. Yeah. But when a black mom get mad at you, the nearest thing is coming.
Right.
It's a hammer, butcher knife. It is coming. Whoosh, woo, woo. Hey, that was close. But so you learn early. I mean, didn't you fake sometime when your mom and dad was?
You were, but before I had to do what I was just doing real quick. Me and my brother and I have had this conversation a couple times. And at one time, it was me, my brother, and my cousin. And we're kind of all stacked in age. And, they'd say, who did whatever. And nobody wants to cop to it. So then all 3 of us got whooped. And then it was only, after a couple of those times where it's like, just tell them that it was you. Or, tell them it was you. They let us kind of talk to each other before the whoopings commence, because if whoever did it comes clean, then everybody don't need to get it. But at first we were one mind, one sound, and then they were like, I'm not taking no whoopings for you. I'm not taking no whoopings for you. It's like, no.
But then what my kids used to hate is that I had to give a lecture to. I had to give them a lecture. Because even before I became an educational psychologist, I was always a cognitivist. What I mean by that is that, I learned from my wife that the best way to raise a child is to raise a good child, you have to raise him like you train a pet. Because when you have a dog, you have to teach them to have a conscience. You had to teach them in the sense that wasn't good. That wasn't good what you did. So you had to spend a whole lot of time communicating with that pup. So that pup understand what it is that they've done. And you had to do that with your kid too. Because a lot of times you just want to go ahead and get it over with. Your mama told me to whip your ass. Okay, bam, it's done. Now get out of here. But then I used to always want to give a lecture. Create So Far said, Junior said, my parents got divorced after 8 years. By the time it was all said and done, my mom was pissed. She said she wanted to grab a gun and unload it on him. She was a very angry person. A lot of times, I think, but most of the time when you get a divorce, I think most of the time it's amiable. You understand that you can't relate to each other. You understand you don't really get along. You understand that maybe you should try something different, something new,
Right.
But see, the hardest thing is that and when you're in a marriage, a lot of times you got to fake it till you make it. And the reason that I say that is that a lot of times in a marriage, you play roles. You had to play a role: lover, friend, mother, nurse, nurse, father. You play all these different roles,
Right.
And sometimes it can be overwhelming. That's why I think some people really, get tired of being a mom, because see, it's hard enough to be a mom and then to be married too. But because oh yeah, come on.
I get that though, because the responsibility for all of the care kind of comes from her. So I guess when I'm sick, I just want everybody to kind of leave me alone. Or when they're sick, they need somebody to tend to them. And I'm not saying I don't want somebody to tend to me, or at least, hey, you all right? You want something to drink or eat or whatever. But I kind of get that. We're not our own people anymore. Now we're their person, their bath runner, fever temperature taker, if it's, if something's bad, or kiss the boo-boos, or
well, you gotta, or sometimes you might have to wash up your mate, sometimes they ain't had diarrhea and you got to wash their ass. You got to watch them all over. I mean, you have to, people don't understand that when you're married, sometimes, it all depends. It's the good and the bad. It's the good and the ugly. But the point is this, is that I think that we have to fake these roles so much. I mean, mom, like how I was my wife's God at first. I was her God. And because I could do no wrong. And then one day in a sense, she said she was sick, and I'm on the football team. I'm playing every day at Illinois. So, she said, I'm hurting on the field. I said, oh, damn, just suck it in. You'll be okay. I said this, my mama never complained. And that was it. When I said my mama, but see, I didn't understand at that time. I know now.
Right.
I didn't understand at that time is that we fake. My oldest son told me, he said, Pops, you never was sick. I said, what? He said, Pops, you never was sick. I never saw you sick. Mama was kind of sickly, but you were never sick. I said, I was sick sometimes. But then I started thinking about what I had said to my wife years ago when I had told her that my mother was never sick. Yeah, my mother was probably sick. Like, you get sick sometime, but you don't have time to show that to the kids. You can have a bad cold, or you can have a sore throat, and you might kind of wait for your partner, your husband, to come and maybe kind of tend you a little bit. But a lot of times, if the kids are there, you're going to still get up and cook them breakfast. Maybe, you're going to still, they may not get everything they want, but you may at least cook some eggs and toast or something. But it'll be a breakfast.
That's a good point. I'm happy that our oldest is as old and as responsible as she's been, because that's been very helpful. If I'm not feeling well, I don't have to worry about them starving. And not that they're starving. My children are never starving. The minis eat all the time, especially our knee baby. He's got the mightiest appetite of anybody I've ever seen. But it doesn't fail. Every morning he wakes up, he's like, it's breakfast time, right? Or around lunchtime, he's like, it's lunchtime, right? Or around what you making me for dinner? And it's like, it's coming. Like, it's coming. But like today, I slept in. I was exhausted from yesterday, and then
Has school started yet? Has school started yet? Have you went back to work yet?
No, we go back to school on Tuesday.
All right.
So we're actually a little bit late this year. So I think we'll probably get out middle of June.
So you said you were tired, and then you...
Yeah, I was tired, but the oldest one, she was able to help me out. She's able to get them breakfast, and I could just sleep. But before she was able to do that, there is no such thing as sleeping in, because that knee baby is knocking on. Mom, it's time for breakfast. And it's like, yes, you're right. I'm coming. And then he'll come downstairs with me, pop a squat on the chair. What's for breakfast? And it's like, I didn't forget it. We're on the path. But no, but I have to fake it, because I'm not mad at him. I'm a little irritated, but I can't be mad that he knows that we're on a schedule, or that he's supposed to have these things. So,
but just wait till he gets grown, and then he calls you up. Mom, I'm coming over for breakfast. And you say, damn, I don't want to cook, but hey, I'm going to cook it for him. Because My kids used to do that. They would call my wife, and I mean, damn, I'm going to work. Hell, I didn't eat breakfast, but what you doing? Oh, I'm cooking out so and so some breakfast. What? You didn't get up to cook me breakfast. You told me to get a damn McMuffin at McDonald's. No, she didn't. But the thing is, this is that that's just the way it is. Is that what as a mom, how are you able to play those roles all the time and then have a pleasant face for them? How is that possible as a mom? Because as a dad, like I was somebody was they wanted to be on my show and they said I don't want to have any cuss words. So I said I'm a cussy person, and I cuss a lot, but my wife she didn't cuss a lot. But the thing is, this is that how can you remain pleasant with people demanding things get done? Like you said, your son is coming down to knee baby, and he's sitting in the chair, looking at you. What's for breakfast? How are you able to fake it and get through this without really getting upset about it? What can drive you to do that?
What I do is I like to play with them. It's the playful energy that helps me fake it. So while they can't quite read sarcasm just yet, I mean, they kind of are getting it, but then you have to be careful because if they're little brilliant people, like I know they are, they're going to pick up and then you're going to start hearing the sarcasm back. So just know, I'm letting you know, it's like catch-22 here, but the extra emphasis on some things because I'm being a little sarcastic and a little dramatic, but it's the energy that they're feeling. So they don't know that I'm like exhausted. No, really, I'm so tired. But you're hungry. It's cool. I got you. You're supposed to eat. Nobody's saying we're mad that you're hungry or anything like that, as much as I am tired and I don't have to eat right now. But playing with them, I mean, with our knee baby, if he this is what he does. He rubs his belly. I'm so hungry.
He's an actor too, huh?
And if I'm hungry too, or if I'm, again, this is in that mood, I'm hungry too. Yeah, I'm so hungry too. I wonder if there's any midgets around for me to bite. I know it's probably bad, but all of the minis are midgets because they're all smaller than me, and I'll tell him I'll bite him, and then he's like, oh, don't bite me, and then then he goes and, oh, I'm gonna eat the mama, and then he'll try to come bite me, and then again, you got to get careful with some of this stuff because they'll want to play with other people in the same way. You can't do that with other people, or
you had to tell them.
Yes. So it does come with instructions of sorts, but now I find just playing with them and kind of working myself into it makes it a lot easier because then they're so happy. They're smiling. How can you look at a child that's smiling in their face and be all or angry or not want to smile back at them? You might not feel it, but they're just smiling at you with the most innocent or whatever genuine smile. You're all angry, whatever.
Then when you look and see what's happening in Gaza, even though it's none of my business, and you still in a sense say, people, that's one of the things that surprised me back in the day is how I love my children. I love children. I mean, that's just it. That's what made me a good teacher, I believe. But it's amazing how there are some people that could care less how a child feels. They could care less how a child is impacted by the negativity that you may bring on them. And that's why they make you have to spend much of your life faking. We don't want to talk about being a fake, and we're not a sincere fake, but a lot of times we fake to make people happy.
Yeah. Because if we didn't care about how they felt, we wouldn't be faking it. We fake it with the people we love because maybe they're not the ones who made us feel whatever it is, negativity. And then it's almost not fair to take it out on a person who didn't do anything to you. Like they're just existing in the same environment and you're feeling some kind of way, but do you Do you let it seep and bleed into other areas of your life, or is it something you can kind of put in a box or compartmentalize, take it out later? My man is always saying that if I'm ever feeling angry, I need to take it out on them people. And he'll tell me in real time, like, whoa, 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 take that shit over there to them people. And then most of the time he's right. Sometimes I'm really genuinely irritated with him and he's getting the energy that he's giving. But a lot of times it is redirectable because I'm not really mad at them or him or us as much as I don't like the situation we're in. He's right. Every time I take it and direct it at the people that need it, I feel a lot better after the fact. And then it's not like I made anybody around me feel like shit because I was feeling like shit. So,
well, most of the time, for many of us, we go in the backyard at night, or we drive to the park and look around and don't see anybody and just shout, scream. Sometimes you do. Even as a man, sometimes I used to have to feel like to go somewhere and just scream, damn, F everything, all of you, but I couldn't direct it at anybody. And I didn't want anybody to feel in the sense that they were the ones who made me feel this way. But then sometimes you do like to just go somewhere and just scream, just shout, just say something out loud that you really feel like saying, but you don't want to tell people. I mean, it could be your loved one, it could be your partner, a lot of times in a sense, as a man, a lot of things I didn't, women, when you're married, women can say things to you very horrible. And, they can act like they just hate you, like the lady who said that she wanted, like what you gonna say, she'd wanted to shoot somebody. And then, but then the next day, she'll be acting what you believe is normal. But she had a terrible night. See, women control the bedroom, And when I say women control the bedroom, most people think I'm talking about sex. No, your ass ain't going to sleep unless they get stuff off their chest. You're not going to sleep. If it's something on their mind, you're not going to sleep. You see?
I used to fight you on that because I'm not the talker in my relationship. When I go upstairs to go to bed, I want to go to bed. But you're right. And it's not because I'm talking. But when I'm uncomfortable or I'm angry, I'm tossing and turning all night. I can't sleep. I'm up, I'm asleep, I'm down, I'm moving around. Can y'all imagine how uncomfortable it is to be laying next to the person that's just doing all sorts of moving in the bed and you can't get comfortable because they're taking the covers and then throwing the covers. Hot, it's cold, I'm hot, I'm cold.
But what about when that person is knocked out? What about when that person's knocked out? They don't seem like they know that you're tossing and turning.
Oh, well, then I guess that woman probably smacks him and then goes back to sleep. And he's, oh, what happened? Oh, I don't know what happened.
We're not paying attention. But, it's very complicated because, as I said, because we're playing so many roles, lover, husband, friend, partner. We're playing so many roles that sometimes you do have to fake it, and it's not, see, family, it's not that you're doing this to be mean to anybody. It's not that you're doing this in a sense because you're trying to live a double life or you're really trying to lead them down the garden path. You do it because you like them, but you don't want to hurt their feelings. But at the same time, you don't really feel like, damn, like I said about cooking for your knee baby. He's rubbing his tummy and you're tired as hell and you say, damn, I was up late last night. I had to work yesterday and those people got on my nerves or I had a bad practice and I had to demonstrate so much layups and stuff that I'm a little tired now. Or I did a little bit too much work cleaning up the house or the garden. But then you still try to be that same person. You still try to, in a sense, fake it so that they can have that good attitude. And I think that's what we love about our moms. We do love our moms to be fakers, because we don't want to see that. We don't want to see their depression. We don't want to see them down, And the thing that helped me, and I've said this before, is my auntie, Maya Mabel. So I used to go to my grandmother's house a lot, because they only lived about what? They only lived about what, 6 or 7 miles away. And in the city, I mean, you can walk 6 or 7 miles easy. And this was city, these are city miles. But then I'd go over there a lot, and I saw my auntie crying. I said, Now I was upset. Why are you crying? I said, this way. And then later I said, why were you crying? She said, Clyde, I'm a woman. I can cry if I want to. She said, it's nothing to do with you. It's nothing to do with anybody else. But I can cry if I want to. I said, oh, damn. I felt you should have a reason to cry. If I'm crying, I got hurt. And it's hurting bad. It's hurting bad. That's why I'm crying. But you're just crying because you're a woman.
That's what you were taught though, right? If your daddy ever saw you crying for no reason,
hell no.
You might have got a whooping for crying for no reason. Or is
daddy, your mama. My mother, in a sense. I remember I got a sore, and I said, "Oh, mama, get over there, boy. Stop that crying." My sister, I my fingers. Oh, let me kiss her. Oh, is that better, baby? I said, "Damn, why she hugging her? She ain't hugging me." She said, but I understand now. It is hard. It is hard. This life is hard. It's hard to be a black man in this in this world, because you can't fake it. A sister can fake it. A sister can pretend, but we're always angry. So if you push us too far, we might want to start fighting and stuff. And you can't always fight. You gotta learn how to, in a sense, hide your emotions. And most women, in a sense, if they're on a job and their boss get on their nerves, they'll listen to that, and then when they get home, they'll say, "Damn, you should go up there and tell that man off. He keep picking on me," and blah, 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 blah. And then if you're a smart husband, you say, "Oh yeah, he shouldn't do that." Yeah, but then if you're a dumb husband, you'll go up to the job. "Hey, leave our wife alone." Then you and your wife both leave. She doesn't have a job, and and now she's lost her job because you took it too far. But
look, if you want to do that though, you got to be the one who's ready to not do no more 50-50. I've heard 2 stories of 2 different men who've stood up for their wife at work. Like, she came home crying because this principal or whatever, supervisor or whatever, he's just really giving her a really bad time, a hard time. She come home crying, and her husband went down there and said, "My wife comes home crying again, we gonna have problems." And
how long did his wife stay on that job?
That's what I'm saying. I think that's pretty much the end of it. But he could afford it. He was ready. Some women are working because they want to and not because they have to. And then you start to, if you're taking something you don't have to take, it's different. People put themselves in situations sometimes because they don't have any choice. That's also different. So like, that husband needs to, yeah, baby, that is a bad man. But then don't do that too much, because then she's gonna want you to go protect her, and then, like you said, now, and he's gonna have to be working for 2, or she's gonna be looking for another job, or she wants you to. It can't be fake it till you make it with this. No, yes, go defend my honor. Go tell that man about himself. Okay.
Because that's one of the things that brings me back to Judge Mathis, and then people say, how could you be married 39 years and you get a divorce? Well, same reason you could be married for 1 year and get a divorce. The thing is that most women want a man to let them know that they exist. What are you talking about? Most women want a man who lets them know that they exist, that they're alive, and so then, and because of that, then therefore they always want their man to be at least paying attention to them, or at least being considerate and things like that. Just like me, a lot of people said, "Damn, you know, my wife, she loved me to do research as long as it didn't take up any of her time. And that was all the time. You people probably say, "Damn, Dr. Winters, how did you publish maybe what 300 articles? Do presentations. I used to do 2 or 3 presentations a year, every year, while I was teaching, and then write, these books. How did you do that? I did it because I did it while she was asleep, and then she woke up in the middle of the night, and I wasn't there. Say, Clyde, get your ass up here, Clyde, get up here. Wait, ain't I grown? Hell, I'm 40. I'm 50.
She
something.
said, the bed doesn't feel the same. You're not where you're supposed to be. You need to be right here so I can go to sleep. And don't bring them books either.
She was sleeping at first. Oh yeah, boy, yeah, she would have a fit now. I guess when she comes around me, say, look at all those books on the tables and down there, and damn, my living room is looking messed up. And it is our living room, because when you buy a house, you don't buy a house for yourself. You buy a house for your woman, and that's her house, And so then, but again, in a sense, I think that what makes it so bad is that it's very hard for a man because you don't really know how to play it. Like a lot of times, the average man and the average woman, they break up when that guy is really, you be telling your man, hey, get out there and work. We got to work hard, and we're going to get up there. And so the man, he's doing overtime and stuff like that. He's doing overtime. He's not hardly around. And then you want to see the check, but then you're mad at him. When I was young, hell, I wasn't doing any damn overtime, because, my father, he used to talk about people in construction who would be doing all that overtime, and then their wives would eventually leave them anyway.
Somebody else, right?
Yeah. But the only problem now, but this is it. Throughout all my years of watching women and men, that the next man that woman got, he was not as good as the one that who she had been married to. Mm-hmm. He didn't treat her the same. He wasn't as loyal. But I guess she was happy, because see, the thing is, this is that when do you give a person enough attention? Who knows that? How do you measure that? There's no way to measure that. And I think that's when you look at somewhere like Judge Mathis and his wife, 39 years, and and she's happy, and he looks happy, and he's going to even be more happy because he's going to find him a 35-year-old that'll put up with somebody 60 or 70. He's like, I'm alive. But the thing is, this is that's how older men always feel. They're going to find somebody 35. That 35-year-old would be dumb. But anyway, the thing is,
it's not a bad point though. I mean, being married for so long, I just looked it up real quick. Looks like she wants spousal support. So she wants his support, but she doesn't want his attention anymore. And I don't.
She wasn't getting it in the first place. That's why she's leaving him.
So okay, so then that's where it's all coming from.
That's my belief.
Okay. And I guess that, but you said that the second man's not necessarily as good as the first man, but then sometimes she's seemingly more happy, and that's the communication thing, right? The women want you to make the money and be home and make the money and do all these things. It's like a unicorn. But if you communicate with her, that, look, if you want this lifestyle, how do you expect me to get it if I'm not out here working? And most of the time, I think that's a good.
But you can't communicate that to everybody, because most people get married off of love.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Whereas most marriages last based on respect.
Mm.
Because when you respect somebody, then I'm not going to treat you I'm not going to treat you bad, because I don't want you to treat me bad. And I don't think anybody should be treated bad.
Mm-hmm.
But if I love you, then I can always make excuses.
Mm.
I love him, and
Ooh.
I mean, damn, I mean, he can understand, she can understand. I gotta be with the boys tonight, and we're gonna go and we're gonna. I mean, yeah, I did tell her I was gonna be home. I was gonna spend this evening looking at TV. But John and Fred, they go into the bar and they want to talk about the Bears game, and the Bears had a tough game. They got a tough one coming up. She'll understand. No, she's not going to understand. See, the problem that most men make in a relationship with most women is that on average, when you talk to your man, when you talk to your partner, half of what you say goes in one ear. Sorry, don't get mad at me. Hey, if your partner's nearby, don't get mad at me. But that's true. See? So what he says goes in one ear and out the other. So when he made that promise that he was going to be home this evening and y'all were going to look at I don't know, whatever show you like, he was going to be home tonight of all nights, because this is the night that my favorite show is on. Our favorite show, no, it's your favorite show. Our favorite show is on. So you're going to be here. And then when he doesn't come, then when he's not there, you're mad because you feel, damn, he said something. See, most men make a mistake by making making promises that we usually don't carry out. See, we don't, and so it's just like if I saw this video once on YouTube, and it said, a man who always makes promises is a man who's not for real. And and then you think about it, or a man who always, in a sense, swears on his mother or swears on his family is not for real. And you had students like that. I swear I didn't do that. You said to yourself, I just saw Johnny. I just saw you do that. I saw you hit her. Mm-hmm. And they'll be going, I swear on my mom. I swear on my no. And then the next thing they swear on their grandmama. And,
right.
And you're supposed to believe them. And you watched them. I saw you do that. But you just listen and you let them talk that talk. But then deep down, that is not true. And see, these are the things I think that make it hard, is that sometimes in trying to fake it till we make it, a lot of times, in a sense, we put ourselves into positions that can hurt each other. Mm-hmm. And how do we hurt each other? We hurt each other because somewhere along the line, you made a promise and you didn't keep it. I don't know.
I think I agree with that, though. I mean, my first marriage didn't work because of that very reason. And this marriage wouldn't work for that same reason. I don't like to be told that you're going to do something that you don't plan on doing, or maybe it's not even as deep as that. But if you're not going to do it, don't tell me you're going to do it. Because if you're going to do it, now I don't have to think about it anymore. And then everything that you say that you're going to do, it starts to pile up of things that I don't have to think about anymore until, boom, I got to think about all this stuff because it never got done. I can't deal there. If you don't overextend yourself, then I wouldn't be expecting anything. But it's communication, really, because, maybe you shouldn't let the list get so big before addressing it. It's about 5 things that you said that you got. Are you sure you got it? Do you need to reorganize some things to get it done?
And see, when you really think about those, when you really think about why relationships fail, a lot of times it's because you fake and you don't carry through. You don't carry through on your promises. You don't carry through on the things that make the relationship whole. Because see, whenever as a man, a lot of times, in a sense, I'm not. My wife is dead now. I wish she was with me, but I can tell the truth. A lot of times I wasn't listening to that, and I was just saying, yeah, and try to listen a little bit. So when she said, "You're not listening to me," yes, I am. And I try to play it off. Most of the time, most of the time, your partner, he don't play it off. Most of the time, you say, "You wasn't listening to Ish. You better listen to me now." but I already heard your dissertation. It was about 2 hours long. Well, you better, you don't say it out loud, but you get that look. Are those ears? Did you wash those ears out this morning? Well, if not, you better get in that washroom and wash those ears out and listen and talk back to me. And see, that's the whole thing. And I think that's the problem. And I think that's why people can be married for 39, 50, 60 years. But somewhere along the line, when your woman doesn't feel that you're listening to her, when your woman doesn't feel in the sense that she's being heard or she's being recognized, she wants a divorce. I mean, that's why most women in a sense, they file for divorce. I mean, hell, we're happy. Shit. I mean,
But
damn, I got.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
People say that because that's the math. Women file for divorce more than men. But I was wondering, just based off the conversation we've had right now, if it's because the man doesn't care to fake it anymore. Maybe he was faking it and she's too much of a burden. It's too much energy being wasted when I could go be with someone who likes me the way that I am, or who wants me to do what I'm doing, or something like that. And then she's picking up on it, like, you ain't even faking it anymore. Like, so then she's not faking it, and then now they both don't have to be fake together because she.
That is so deep. It is so deep because that's what's happening, but you don't really recognize it. See, when you're going through that experience, you don't really recognize it. You don't see that. I think the best thing that ever happened to me was when my wife once told me, what was it, 70? I was still in college. I was maybe a junior or something. She said, I wish I could just whoop your ass. She said, I just wish I could beat the hell out of you. I said, you can go ahead and hit me. She said, damn, I've been standing up on your stomach and shit since I was a teenager, and you was playing football, so I know that ain't gonna hurt you. I wish it. And she said, you're an asshole. I said, I'm not. And then, but we role played. She played me, and I did not see that person. That wasn't me. Mm-hmm. But she said that's how she interpreted me. But that helped me because that allowed me to see, hey, maybe you do need to change. Maybe some of the things that you're doing are not right. They're not really gelling because see, you're not really being conscious of your insensitivity. And I'll admit, playing football, I mean, since a kid, you're used to pain. You used to going to sleep. Or staying up all night or taking pain pills. I remember when I was in high school, when we had to do our last spring game, and I couldn't hardly walk, but I got it together for that day, So as a football player, I was always used to pushing, and doing things based upon that. And I think, but as a woman, a lot of times you want to be recognized, you want to be heard, and the thing is, this is that, am I being heard? Am I being heard? And I think that's a hard thing to do, and it's hard to say, because as a man, you feel, yes, I'm listening to you, and we know deep down a lot of times we're just pretending, but we still say, I mean, hey, just like some women, and they have a husband or a lover, and that person is not really satisfying them sexually, but they still put up with it because he does other things that make them feel satisfied. Maybe in a sense he knows how to love her. I didn't say make love to her, but he may know how to love her. Right. And if he knows how to love her, then that may be enough at that time. Right. But then if he doesn't know how to make love and doesn't give any attention, oh shit, your ass is out. See ya. You don't want to be
too much struggle.
Hit the road, Jack. Boop.
That's an excellent point.
But the beauty of it is that when I was looking at Judge Mathis' wife, and she just looked so happy, so excited. Damn, but then you get I don't know if O'Shea Duke Jackson, he's in the manosphere, and then he just cracked me up because throughout my life, ever since I was a kid, and I would watch these relationships, the second person doesn't look like he was as good to her as that first person. And a lot of times she goes down. Maybe he doesn't have that good a job, or he's not making that much money. But I understand now, since I'm older, I understand that she didn't feel alive. And then people say, she said she was having good sex. And she said she was having maybe 10 orgasms a night or whatever and stuff. But she said she didn't feel alive. And see, that's the whole point in terms of a man versus a woman, is that what makes a woman feel alive is to know that her partner acknowledges that she exists.
Right.
Do you see me? Do you see me? Wait a minute. Am I dead? You told me you was coming home to watch this program with me. I know you cannot stand that program, but you said it. See, we're always, when you see relationships collapse, a lot of times it collapses because one of the parties, usually the man, stopped faking. He begins to really show that he isn't paying attention. He begins to really show, in a sense, that he's taking her for granted. Is that a good word? Maybe that's the best word. Is that when a woman feels that she's being taken for granted, that she's not being seen, I think that impacts a lot in terms of making her make a decision. Damn, hell, do I really need you? Yeah, people on the outside, they're looking in and they feel everything is sweet. And yes, you bought me a Corvette and the top can come down and you know, but you're not there for me.
Right.
You're not there when I need you. He is there, but you're not there when I need you. And when I need you is when you can acknowledge that I exist. I think that sometimes women feel when they're in a relationship, family, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. If she don't stop me, I might start to think I'm right. I need some help.
I've been divorced, so I have a unique experience here, and then you've never been divorced, so you clearly faked it till you made it all the way to here, or didn't have to, because for what? But that in one ear and out the other thing.
But I had to be put in my place, though. See, I had to be put in my place because I was a Black Power, I was a Black Power Muslim nationalist. How does that sound? I was a Black Power Muslim nationalist. And then Suleiman Yang, he used to teach at Howard. Suleiman Yang used to teach at Howard. So one day, I used to get to fly around the country. I was famous. And I used to fly around the country, but I didn't spend no money. They bought the airplane tickets. I just picked them up at O'Hare. And so they were having a conference down in Urbana. And so then Suleiman, he called me and he said, Yaki, that means brother, Yaki, we want you down here at the conference in Urbana. I said, my wife is sick. I can't come down there. He said, we want you down here. I said, I can't make it. And that was the end of that, But the point is this, is that I was happy because, as the years went on, I started seeing that when all those other people had moved away, my wife was still there with me, And so then, so I said, damn, maybe that's why some of the times I had to be maybe out of work a little bit so I could just spend time with her.
Oh, for sure. I mean, what we were talking about earlier, the woman who leaves her working husband for a man who's giving her all of the attention, she doesn't realize it at the time until she wants things that she's used to. And she has to sit and think about, why is she used to it? Oh, because my man was at work and he's not home all day. And this man's here and this is nice and I like it and the sex is good, but damn, I want to go to the Bahamas. And my man used to take me on vacation. And this man doesn't take me anywhere except for to the bedroom.
I had my own car and didn't have to share it.
Right. She had things. And then the grass is not necessarily greener on the other side. It's just green wherever you water it, right? So
I like that. I like that.
I did not make that up. I saw it on a meme one time, but it's so real though.
I thought I was getting some authentic Eve with Eve.
No, we can't fake it like that. Not over here. There's no reason. No. But it's real. And then it's not every woman who leaves the first one for another one that ends up in a worse or better situation. It's about, has she learned herself? She's still faking it with herself. Some of us are saying that we have a type, and then yeah, okay, I have a visual type, this is what I like, and I'm looking for a man who looks like this. But then she goes and gets with someone else because maybe she didn't really have a type, or maybe she was faking it because people said that this is where you need to be. But then she finds that she's actually happier over here. We learn to fake it from really early on. You're right. And if you don't put it in proper context, the people in your lives are gonna either think you don't pay attention or care. Because your minis, they know when you're not paying attention. Mommy, watch me do this. Watch me do this. And then you jump on one leg. Did you see? Watch. And yeah, I see, baby. That's so great. That's so, you're so good at that. And whether you're paying attention or not, if you can make them feel like they're getting the attention, then you've done your job. Just don't let it be something you really should have been paying attention to. Like, I did a flip with no hands. Did you see? Wait, what? Can you do it again? No, it was just the only time I could do it. It's like
I've seen that type of stuff. It's complicated, and and we've been taught. We always been taught, and this is one of the things that I think hurt us as human beings, is that we've been taught that to be fake is negative. We've been taught that is wrong to fake, and yet in reality, a lot of times we're only faking because we want to make people, in a sense, feel happy, or we want to make people feel good, but we've been taught that fakery is no good, when in a way fakery is good, because fakery sometimes allows us to know. I mean, it's just like, you. I'm just imagining. I never heard this, but yeah, I did hear, like when my wife had heart trouble, and so then so she had they found she had heart failure. So then they said, they said, okay, you're going to be dead in 3 years and stuff. You say, what? You see? But then
no bedside manner. They just said it like that, just straight.
Well, that's what it sounded like to me. But the thing is, but she didn't. She lived 8 years over. So it was 11. So it was 11 years that she lived over. But then eventually she had a heart attack or something. But the thing is this, though, is that, and then you say, damn, you have a heart attack, and you have a heart attack in the hospital with them right there, and then you still can't go. And then then you still die. But it's just, the whole point is, what I'm saying is this, is that we live these lies. We create these ideas. And I think that what hurts a man in his relationships, and I think that if you're going to fake as a man, you should make promises that you don't keep, And I think that this is one of the things that allow a woman to feel, I don't really need him. I don't really need him. I love him, but as I said before, I said love is a state of mind. You said it's a state of being.
Right.
But the point is this, is that I love him. I'm crazy about him, and he's everything I thought I wanted. He's 6'2", 6'4", but it's something missing. And what's missing is that he's cold as hell, or he doesn't see me. He doesn't see me. Mm-hmm. And it's like, wait, I'm over here. Yeah. I'll be back with the boys. We're going to Washington, going to see the Washington play baseball today or football or whatever. Wait a minute, I thought you were going to be with me. I thought you were going to stay here and watch TV, our favorite TV program.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'll be back in time for that shit. Then he come back and hell, it's too late. See, and it's this whole idea of not keeping promises. So in a way, should you make promises that you're not going to keep? But do we know we're not going to keep those promises?
It's a good question. I think some people do know they have zero plans of keeping the promise. And these are the liars of the world. And sometimes the liars of the world, they use the fake it till you make it. They don't ever plan on making it as much as they're just going to fake it until the next thing. I was talking on one of my shows recently about how you don't want to be on a plane with someone who says, oh yeah, I fly planes all the time. I've flown all the planes. Yeah. But really they meant like a paper airplane. And then the pilot has a heart attack. And then it's like, oh, it's okay because Johnny in 2B flies planes. And then everybody's looking for Johnny in 2B and that joker has never flown a plane, never played a video game flying planes or anything, as much as has made a few paper airplanes and has been to the airport lots. You don't want to be that person, and you don't want to be around that person because it's very dangerous. That the doctor who's doing the surgeries in the garage, not the one who has the skill or I'm not talking about a skilled person. I'm talking about someone who I feel like I could be a doctor. Let me see if I can cut somebody open, and then now they've killed somebody, murdered.
I read the book. I'm from India. I'm a doctor. I went to Pamindi or Hindili or medical school. I will do everything for you now. Let me give your child a sucker or candy bar, and I will take out that hernia. It's on the left side, right?
Right. No.
No, it's not there. But I remember I saw this thing years ago, and this guy he had faked being a doctor. He got a whole lot of prestige and stuff, and he had got real high, and he's able to talk I said, damn, he's able to talk his way into to being seen as a doctor and working at hospitals and stuff. But see, some people are just so smooth, and
right.
Some people, in the sense that they're fakes, but they do. Is it because they really believe it? I don't know. Do you think?
Yeah, sure. They are so vested in the game of tricking people that they do believe that they have the skills. They just haven't had the chance. I hear it all the time I don't hear it right now, but I used to hear it all the time from parents in the stands. They've never played basketball, ever. Their child is out there doing more than they've ever done in their life, but they are on the stands telling them, you got to do it like this, and you got to do it. And they've got all this energy because to them, they just were never given the chance. They could play 8th grade basketball when they were in 8th grade if somebody had ever given the chance. But you 42, you sit your happy ass down and let your baby out here focus. They're trying. They're giving you the chance to do it now through them. But you are taking their attention away by putting it on you in the stands versus them on the court. But no, they
really
never they can do it.
I never tried to force any of my kids to play football because I told them, you had to be able to take pain. You had to be able, you're going to be hurt. You're going to be hurt every day. You're going to be hurting every day, and you still had to keep going. You still had to keep going. And, and so I never made them do that. I was thinking the other day how when I went to college, they would always say, always tackle with your head. I would always lead with my head. Yeah. That's why a lot of people get concussions.
Right.
You know, so they would always say tackle with your head, but I would lead with my head, but then hit with my shoulder. I'm not going to tell a lie. After about 7 games, we had to play what 10 or 11. After about 7 games, your shoulder is hurting like hell.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not the concussion. It's not the concussion stuff. And so then, you know, I think about this is that when people listen to these coaches but you got to find a way to make it work for you, you know, and see, you know, that's why before we played football, we would always pray, you know. There's like now, like it's coming up, like even to this day, I can still sometimes get the smell in my nose of tape and blood. You know, I can get that tape and blood smell because that's what it was, you know. By halftime, when you went in the locker room, somebody was taping up your ankles or taping up something, and it was blood. And they were taping the blood. They were putting the tape over the blood. So I had that. I still have that smell of tape and blood, you know. And it's you know. Thanks a lot, not to need for the cash app. But again, the thing is this is that, you know, you can only fake so long. But I do feel in the sense that it's very hard. It's very hard. And I think that even though looking from the outside and I see a woman that divorces her man, look from the outside, you know, I can't really say anything because I know being married as long as I was married for 50 years. But I just know that often in a sense you get a divorce because I mean, hey, that person isn't doing what you want them to do. And is there anything wrong with that? Shouldn't you expect a certain behavior from the person who you want to live with? Shouldn't you expect a behavior that allows you, in a sense, to be who you are? Don't you deserve that? And this is the thing that we don't really think about. You know, it's just like when you were younger, and maybe everybody knew that you had went with this boy maybe for most of your high school years or something. And everybody just knew that you two were supposed to be the mates. But then later you say, damn, I love him. See, love is a state of mind anyway, or a being. You do love them, and you still love them. And
right. You still do. You always will. But
that's it, but.
No, right. But then it's the communication thing because like you said earlier today, people are not getting married on respect. They're getting married in love. And a lot of things are not being talked about because love's going to mend.
Love conquers all. Love conquers all.
Right. Love conquers all. Love don't pay the rent. Then, you know, that's what ends up happening when the woman leaves for more attention after she's had things. And I mean, my current husband is a lot more attentive than my ex-husband, and he's a lot more gone. I've got a very weird situation where I'm getting all the attention and none of the attention, and that's how people can abuse people like this. But you have to kind of put yourself in the situation to be abused, I guess, or be told the sweet nothings, or someone's telling you, oh, they're not doing this, oh, I can do this.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty. I used to teach in county jail, and I used to a lot of people would ask me to write letters for them. I could be dramatic, you know, and I can see why a lot of those women would fall in love with an inmate. Because that's a beautiful love. You don't have to perform. You don't have to fake, and they're somewhere else. So you can love the hell out of them, and they can love the hell out of you because you're not around each other every day. See,
until he's they let me out, and it's like, what? And then it's like,
but then when you get
to speak English, you don't know how to spell.
But then when they had to be around each other, then it's a difference. And I think that this is the thing that people don't understand is that this is why it's a mistake to always play up, you know, that it's wrong, you know, to fake it so you can make it. Because the point is this, is that a lot of times faking is not always negative. Faking is not always something in the sense that is meant to hurt somebody. When you get up and you don't feel like it, and you cook breakfast for your knee baby, and he's rubbing his tummy, and you'd rather get back in bed, you say, "Hell, I'm going to do it." And I guarantee when you're in your 50s and they're in their 20s and they're going to call up, "Mama, I used to really cook some good." This is how they start off. "Mom, you used to really cook some good pancakes." Or, "Mom, you used to really make that, that cocoa wheats. It's something about the way you make the cocoa wheats." And then, "Oh, okay, you want some cocoa wheats, baby?" And then, bam, next thing you know, you're cooking cocoa wheats. You didn't even cook breakfast for yourself because you didn't want to, but because she said, "Mama, they need you," and because they said they need you, because you felt needed, then therefore you found the time, you found the opportunity. And so, family, this is what it's all about. Yes, they taught you a lie. They taught you that fake it till you make it is something wrong in that. No, we're always faking it. Everything that's fake does not have to be negative. Sometimes it allows us to grow. Sometimes it allows us to learn new things. Sometimes it allows us to be able to express ourselves, you see. But the point is this, like when my wife, when she did that, and we were in I was about 22, maybe about 22, 21, 22. And she made me have to see how I was. And I guess I was an asshole. But you never see yourself. You never see yourself. We don't look at each other. I mean, we look in the mirror every day. And when I look in the mirror, I see that 32-year-old Clyde Winters, in a sense, who had a nice afro, big afro, a real thick mustache. That's who I see. But then when I look at my videos, I say, "Damn, that who's that? Who's that? That ain't me. That ain't me." But the point is this, is that we create these images, we create this life, we create something about who and what we are. But the point is this, is that it's not always bad to fake. Sometimes faking it allows others to feel. We do it most of the time. We don't do it to hurt anybody. We don't do it in a sense to make cause a wedge. The only thing bad is if you're a faker and you make promises. Now, if you're a faker and you make promises, your relationship is going to fail eventually. Because see, when you don't keep your promises and you fake like you're listening, you fake like you understand, and you don't keep your promises, it's gone. And see, that's why a lot of people say, "Damn, divorce is evil." No, divorce is not bad if it's not what you like, if it's not what you feel. You see, just like when I was teaching, I said this and I'm gonna say it again. I told the story a lot. When I was teaching at Governor State, and I taught the research class, and so everybody had to write a research paper at the end of the class. And I would always have these white women who wanted to do in a sense a research paper on single parenthood. And I would say, but I knew white women, that white women are baby mamas too. The only problem is that they get married and become a baby mama. They get married and become a baby mama. And they're with their boyfriends, or they're with this. But see, just like you see the sister baby mama, they baby mamas too. And they're sitting in, I got 20 of them right over there, and they're teachers. They're teachers throughout Chicago. They were married.
They were, and they get divorced because that's so crazy. Because they want more. But you're supposed to have what you want. Like we talk about all the time. You will have what you want. Will it be to the extent that you want it? To me, if you work, you can have it. But will you have wanted to work that hard to get it? It starts turning into levels of, well, I wanted 6 figures and I thought it would look more like $500,000, but really I'm okay with 101,000.
Yeah.
Because it's 6 figures, right? But you said they all baby mamas, and you're not.
They're all baby mamas. They were all baby mamas. I was married and I got a boyfriend. Oh, you got a boyfriend, okay. but that's not the father of your children, right? No, he's
No,
not.
right.
And this was 4 out of 5 of my students, white female students, were baby mamas. They were with a boyfriend now, but they had been married. They have children, but they're with a boyfriend now. You know, see, they want to hound black women. This is the Western Hemisphere. The Western Hemisphere is all about baby mamas and baby daddies. You see, it's hard for us to build true relationships because most of the time we're not honest with each other. Who the hell want to be honest? I want to be honest. You may want to be honest.
No, I like the honesty aspect because then I can make
but it's dangerous.
It is. But if you're not honest, like fellas, you might need to ask for birth certificates because at your very big age, they haven't quite fixed all of them yet. So you all the states don't have the ability for you to change your origins, if you will. But if you've never seen a baby picture, then people faking it till they make it. I've seen articles of men getting raped because they're with men that they didn't know were men because the sex was never with the light on, or, well, I've never had sex with her. She always did oral on me or whatever. Yeah. Right. So then it's like, well, that wasn't you didn't think that was something to consider. Like, she's always giving me head. Okay, but what about her? She doesn't want you to do it to her or anything. No, she's cool. Okay.
Are you sure it's a she?
I don't know, right?
And then, but see, when I was a teenager, we used to talk about that, but it was easier then because look at it. Oh, yeah, that's not really a woman. You look at the shoulders. But now with these hormones, you can't look at the shoulders. You can't look at the
you can't look at the Adam's apple.
Adam's apple.
There.
Yep. You can't look at none of that stuff. Create So Far said, faking it, yeah. I remember doing it in high school. I had to fake it when my girl was begging me to do some wild sexualism to her. I said yes when I knew damn well the answer was no. Maybe so. Just like now, a lot of people, in a sense, are into a lot of deviant sexual practices. And the thing is, this is that I'll just put it like this: there's a place where your member is supposed to go, and it's where the woman has her thing. I'll just put it like that. And so if you want to go somewhere else, that is not natural. That is not it. And so then that's the whole point. They were talking about yesterday. I was listening to NPR and they were talking about that they had to gather up menstrual blood. I mean, people have always been running away from that. And yet today they're talking about, menstrual blood is good for you. It's good to have it. It's good for, yes, this is on an NPR, public radio. And then, we don't understand why men are running away from it. And so then people, in a sense, they create these negative activities. They create these things to lead us down a path that can only lead to our lack of survival, you see. Yes. And that's the only problem is that what do you prefer? What do you prefer? You see, everybody wants to have companionship. Companionship and marriage are two different things. See, you can have a nice companion, and y'all can go out to dinner and y'all can go out to the show and all that, but you're not going to be married and just go to dinner, go out to the show. You still have to pay attention to your mate. If you're a man, you have to pay attention to your woman. You have to, in a sense, let her know that she's the only thing that exists. You have to let her know that she's the object of all of your attention. See, and this is a thing that's very hard, but it takes training, it takes learning. But most people don't understand is that the most important thing to do is don't make promises that you're not going to keep. Because if you make promises you're not going to keep, that's going to lead to a lot of disorganization, a lot of disunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think maybe one area I would be fine with the people faking it till they make it is, the doctors who have to deliver bad news. Now, I don't want you to fake it like, oh, it's going to be fine, knowing that it's really not fine at all. But I've worked with doctors who've had no bedside manner, just straight, this is whatever it is, and doesn't matter how you feel about it. But those people have also lost a lot of people. You go through the learning of how to care and take your time, and then people still get mad at you because you didn't do what you needed to do, or it wasn't successful. You don't save everybody. You're not going to save everybody.
No, you're not.
But sometimes, it's overbearing, so then they're like, F this, that was the last person that I'm take the time to tell them that they're not dying or that they are dying, whatever it is, because the patient, family, whatever, got mad, smacked them or whatever. And it's like, well, see if I care anymore. And they did care. They don't want to be delivering bad news just with a skip and a smile, because then that's going to be perceived the wrong way too. But there's some grace to be given in certain situations. And
it's the same thing like when you got 8th grade students and you had to tell a parent that their kid isn't going to graduate. It hurts them a lot. But the point is this, is that you can't graduate people, at least in the city, if you don't pass the test, if you don't now do this, if you're not coming to class. And but what I used to what I found very interesting when I was working on my one of my master's degrees, my PhD, and I used to teach it in the suburban schools because I had always taught Black kids, and then when I started teaching in the suburban, teaching teachers in the suburban schools and hearing them talk about their students, I said, damn, their high school students had the same ideas. Their high school students don't do nothing for the first 3 years, and then when they become a senior, they think they're going to be a doctor, lawyer, and then an Indian chief. They think they're going to go somewhere, and they're not prepared. They're not prepared. And I thought it was just Black children. That's why sometimes, in a sense, you need to really have a broad experience teaching, so you can understand that a lot of times, yes, I will admit, I have seen differences in terms of, like, white children do not like to work in groups. Spanish kids are sometimes, they overcompensate, and a lot of times, in a sense, they're too agreeable. Black children, they want to work in groups, and there's always one that's not going to want to do his share. So then, it's
you have it to the T with the demographics. But please continue.
I taught ed psych for 11 and a half years at Governor State. But the thing is this, though, but then just looking at them and being out there. But again, in a sense, and so family, what I'm trying to say is that fake it till you make it. Yes, there's nothing wrong to fake it till you make it, but you have to have some sincerity. You have to have some trust, and you don't fake and make promises that you're not going to keep. Because if you make promises and you're not going to keep them, then you're not going to, in a sense, have reliable people. You're not going to have people who support you, and things aren't going to work out. Your mate. See, love is not enough. Love is not enough. Love is not enough. I'm sorry to tell you, love is not enough to keep a relationship going. Good sex is not enough to keep a good relationship going. You see, because see, after that orgasm, she want to talk. I want to go to sleep. But anyway, you got what you want. I got what I want, but I want more. Look at me. And see, that's the problem that most men don't understand is that when your lady is looking in the mirror, she is sincerely looking in the mirror, but she also feels, in a sense, that if you're her man, she wants you to be able to show a reflection of her. And the way you show a reflection of her is by what? Listening and talking and making promises that you keep.
Very true. That's why I can say that it's our show, because I know it's not your show, but I seen you watching. I saw you giggle that one time on that funny spot, and it was like, oh, he likes my show, or and then now we have something. It's not his show. He just likes you, and he sit there with you and watch your show. And I mean, he could just be a mute, but then you're going to say, you're not even watching it. So he has to play the part to look like he's doing the things.
Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. And what do I mean by fake it till you make it? Fake it till you make it so that that person feels okay. You know. Okay, I'm going to show a couple of, commercials. Bear with me, family.
What's up, everybody? It's Eve. Follow me on Twitter and YouTube for space recordings and special live programs. 2024, we're doing things a little different if you haven't peeped game by now. So yeah, this is your chance. You can do it now if you want. Hit the bell here on YouTube at JustEveB, or find me on X at Justice4Just_Us. That's JUSTICE 4 JUST_US. And if you feel so inclined, support my channel and the work we do over here. The Cash App and Patreon links are in the description. Black first.
Let the researcher do the research. Yes, let the researcher do the research. Dr. Clyde Winters, let him do the research. We need more researchers like Dr. Clyde Winters. Yes, yes, yes. Let the researcher do the research. Yes, we don't understand that it takes people who want to do research to be able, in a sense, to tell us our history. Yes, many people have taken my course, The Afrocentric Researcher. You can take it too. All you got to do is join. But if you don't, in a sense, join, understand that it's through your hard work, through your persistence, that you can become a researcher. Yes, yes, yes. Let the researcher do the researcher. You know what? I've written some books that can help you to be a researcher. Those books are Pathfinder, Clyde Winters in Search of the Roots of Afrocentric Studies. Yes, yes, this book is an important book. It'll help you learn all about your history. My other book is Afrocentric Researcher by Dr. Clyde Winters. This book, in a sense, is the most important book that you will find. What makes this book important is that the Afrocentric Researcher provides you with a course, provides you with a course outline that tells you all the things you do to be a great researcher. Yes, get these books, The Afrocentric Researcher, and in a sense, get my book, Pathfinder. These books are the books you need to be successful, the books that will make you a great researcher. Get these books, but let the researcher do the research, but you can be the researcher too.
Free your mind, let it go to the top, drop it to the floor. Take energy, come at light whoa. Spring water, let it go. Free your mind, let it go. Tap in, go, let it know. Hey, let it know. Let it know. Energy, come at light whoa. Spring water, let it go. Free your mind, let it go to the top, drop it to the floor. Energy, come at light whoa. Tap in, go, let it know. Hey, she told me go and put it in her heart. I told her I don't wanna break it all apart. Let me be a night light in the dark. Hey, my nigga shine bright with the art. Gemini 2 time, know it's hard. Got the stars on the line with the charts. Big dog, so I gotta leave a mark. Free your mind, cause I'm not that smart. Hey, energy, got my light walk. Spring water, how did that grow? Free your mind, let it go. To the top, drop it to the floor. Hey, energy, got my light walk. Spring water, how did that go? Free your mind, let it go. Tap in, go, let it know. Hey, let it know.
supplemental learning for your mini. But you can learn too. Don't send your mini into the belly of the beast unarmed. Courses, practical math, language, the code, our story, and more. An institution founded by us, dedicated to us and our fight for justice. Here you will learn ways to combat the system using the same information they are trying to keep away from you. Welcome to FBA Sunday School.
Buy my book, Nationality and the Law. In this book, we discuss the importance of race and identity. Support Yoshimod. Yoshimod the genius. This brother, he spends so much time making beautiful videos for us. This brother, in a sense, he's allowed us to be able to see our true roots, our true origin. Support Yoshimod the genius. It's Yoshimod the genius who will allow you, in a sense, to find out who and what we are, because he is part of the culture. He knows what the culture is all about, and he's speaking for us.
No need to pretend anymore. The truth is in your face. FBA roots, FBA roots, FBA roots. Oh, no need to pretend anymore. In your face, FBA roots, FBA roots, FBA roots. The Moors once grew from woman to man. In Europe's heart, they wanted our land. Dr. Clyde reveals the hidden past, where blackness thrived, a vivid past. No need to pretend anymore. The truth. FBA roots, FBA roots, FBA roots. Oh, no need to pretend anymore. The truth is in your face. FBA roots, FBA roots, FBA roots. From rooms to moors, the truth is told. Stories of strength, being black is bold. Cultures blended, histories merged. A bond of funk, our souls converge. European tales, they twist it well to hide the truth, but their plans soon fail. See, Dr. Clyde's light shines beyond bright. We the black aboriginals are righteous in this fight. Are righteous in this fight. European tales, they twist it well. FBA roots, FBA roots, FBA roots. Face FBA roots, FBA roots, FBA roots.
You can pick up this video and other videos by Yoshimod the Genius. Buy Yoshimod's videos. Go to Yoshimod Gumroad.com and support this brother. Support him.
Beautiful vibrations, close on the world see. Beautiful vibrations, share your thoughts with me. Beautiful vibration, glow for the world to see. Beautiful vibration, present your best work to me. Beautiful vibrations, glow to the world see. Your beautiful vibration, share your thoughts with me. Beautiful vibration, glow for the world to see. Beautiful vibration, present your best work to me. Beautiful vibrations, glow for the world to see. Beautiful vibrations, share your thoughts with me. Beautiful vibration, glow for the world to see. Beautiful vibration, present your best work to me. Creative spirit, create me something beautiful. Creative spirit, draw me something useful. Creative spirit, create to create, demonstrate pure faith that holds weight. Creative spirit, imagine you're creating. Imagine you're exploring. Imagine you're in the future. Imagine you're in the past. Imagine you're being realized. Imagine the deep soul that entwines. Imagine what really goes down. Yeah, imagine we create. Imagine a universe created by me. Beautiful vibrations, close on the world to see. Beautiful vibrations, share thoughts with me. Beautiful vibration, grow for the world to see. Beautiful vibration, present your best work.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, Yoshimod. He has so many beautiful videos. You guys got to go to yoshimod.gumroad.com and get some of these videos. The brother's making some beautiful videos. You got to support this brother.
Say it loud, I'm the one and I'm proud. Say it loud, I'm the one and I'm proud. Say it loud, I'm the one and I'm proud. Say it loud, I'm the one and I'm proud. Being black, so being B1 is gold. We're all over the globe, shows what you know. Say it loud, I'm the one and I'm proud. Say it loud, I'm the one and I'm proud. Say it loud, I'm the one and I'm proud. I'm the one and I'm proud. Got to have soul, got to have fun, got to give the people what fun they want. I try to play my music instead of music to rap. I try talking about it and got the big on the round. And when I roll with the punches, I got knocked to the ground. With all this bullshit going down. Got to have soul, got to have fun, got to give the people what fun they want. Say it loud, I'm the one and I'm proud. Say it loud, I'm the one and I'm proud. Say it loud, I'm the one and I'm proud. Say it loud, I'm the one and I'm proud. Got to have soul, got to have fun, got to give the people what fun they want. Say it loud, I'm the one and I'm proud. Say it loud, I'm the one and I'm proud. Say it loud, I'm the one and I'm proud. Say it loud, I'm the one and I'm proud.
That video is made by Yoshimod the Genius. Please go to yoshimod.gumroad.com. Support this brother. B1, Yoshimod the Genius. Do not, I repeat, do not support anyone that is not trying to work for you. But Yoshimod the Genius, he is making the materials to help us to know what's right. He's making the materials to help us, in a sense, to know what should be done. The only thing that can save you is B1, B1, B1. To fight Cage, you must stay black first. That's right. That's right. You know, I support Yoshimod the Genius. The brother makes some very beautiful videos. And you can go and you can buy his videos at yoshimod.gumroad.com. The the brother makes some very beautiful stuff. You know, in fact, he made some of the FBA video for the school. A lot of that stuff is made by Yoshi, and Yoshi does this out of the kindness of his heart. So be supportive, you know. But again, we've had another show. You know, fake it till you make it. A lot of people, they look at this as being negative, but in reality, much of our life we spend faking it because we want to make people feel good. Some people are really dastardly. There are some evil people, but in most cases, you know, in my opinion, many people fake so that they can make you happy instead of sad. I don't know. Did you have a final comment?
I think that's a good way to wrap it up because, yeah, we've been taught that being fake is not where you want to be, but sometimes you just don't have it. It's not there. And it doesn't mean that the people around you should have to deal with you being a monster or a bear or super angry, aggressive, whatever it is that you are feeling that's not normally you. And then to think that you have to be your authentic self 100% of the time when the people around you might not have warranted this authenticity. You know, you put it in the right place, direct it where it needs to go. I think about a very old example about the woman who asked her husband if she looks fat in that dress. She knows what she looks like in that dress, but she wants to know if he's going to fake it because it's her, or is there a better way? You know, some men, honey, you look great, whatever. Some men, you know, you look a little round and that you shouldn't be wearing that. You know, I think women know the type of man that they have, and then they're just testing the waters to kind of see where we are today. And especially if it's the woman who she's been trying to get her workout on, but then her husband's like, baby, you know, that's the 4th donut you've had today. You're the one who said you wanted to go to the gym, but you inhaling them Krispy Kremes, right? And she's like, I know what I'm doing. And then y'all go out on Friday, but before she goes out, honey, do I look fat in this dress? And then he just reminds her of them 5 donuts that she inhaled the other day. And that's not saying she looks fat in the dress as much as she said she wanted to do something. And he's just holding her accountable. And sometimes that's too much, but most times, you know, we kind of just want to see or check the temperature, see where we are. Is he still paying attention to me?
That's I like that. Just want to check the temperature. And I do, but family, this is the most important thing to me. To me, you can love on your wife a lot or love on your partner a lot, but she not only wants to be loved, she also wants to know that she exists. And the only way that she knows that she exists is by you giving her that attention. Not just 25% of the time, not 50% of the time, not 75% of the time, not even 100% of the time. It's 125%.
That's right. We want it all and
That's
some.
Right. They want it all. You guys have a good evening. Thank you for coming to this week's show.
Good
See
night.
you next week. Good night.
If you're not going to speak up for the ones who do, if you're not going to speak up for the ones who do, if you're not going to speak up for the ones who do, if you're not going to speak up for the ones who do, vampires they prey on your fears and stay away. Vampires they prey on your fears, control your atmosphere. Don't let them take your energy. What I say. Don't let them suck your control your atmosphere. What I say. I am you and control your atmosphere. Don't let them take your energy. What I say. Don't let them suck your energy. What I say. It's a distraction away from me. I am you and you are me. If you're not going
The only thing that can save you is be one, be one, be one. To fight Cage, you must stay black first.